Hello, everybody, and welcome to Bunny Vision Movie Night. My name is Chester C. Busby III, and I'm really happy to have you here with us tonight. We're going to be watching Blade. Yes, Blade. One of the very first Marvel films, actually, a very successful one. Everyone seems to forget. And also, Wesley Snipes is awesome on top of awesome. And I do recall, I think he's a black dude, right? Pretty sure.
Last time I remember, unless some changes have occurred.
Yeah, yeah, and he's that he's got those really beautiful, sharp black man features too. Real pretty
Hmm.
guy.
Hmm.
And of course, we're love Wesley Snipes. I do, and everybody over here, I think, does as well. He's a really good performer. It's too bad what happened to him. It kind of killed his career, but they did bring him back in the Expendables a little bit, I guess. But talk about a guy taking his job very seriously and trying to get in the best shape he can. The guy actually became a martial art master just so he could do the role. I mean, wow, right?
Right.
Wesley Snipes. But
Well,
nevertheless,
I mean,
um,
Simonson should have done his taxes better.
yeah, well,
All right.
I think he just ticked somebody off because a lot of time when these big, rich Hollywood people get themselves in trouble, it's because they made someone angry and they throw them to the wolves. Because otherwise, we see them get off. Like Jesse Smollett didn't get in any trouble at all for setting up an assault on himself in order to discredit people, and that's let me see, illegal. And
Yep.
not even and they had full proof and evidence and confession, and no, they're not gonna pursue that. Because he's saying what they want him to say, so of course he's on board. But I think Wesley just ticked someone off. I don't know what he did.
Yeah, I see that because for a couple of reasons. Wesley Snipes, just like every other actor, has an entire team of marketing people and
Hmm.
we call creative artist agency. The representatives and all that stuff, and
Sure.
their interest is to make sure he's making money and he's in good standing. So someone really went after him. I believe he's an innocent man. He was railroaded on purpose for whatever reason, and we
Hmm.
still don't know that reason. There's no
No,
way
we don't.
an actor would has too many people supporting him, and those people require that actor to be in good standing. There's no way he got to where he was without some serious shenanigans.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. I don't want to speculate on it. I just know he must have pissed somebody off. But nevertheless, this is before he did that, and he did several movies I enjoyed quite a bit. Not only The Blade, but also like The Art of War. I thought it was really good. He enjoyed this Sun Tzu, the Chinese general who wrote that book about how to military properly. He kind of based the movie on that. It was kind of interesting.
Oh,
But
there's one scene in The Art of War where he
mhm,
went undercover in a soiree of black tie affair.
mhm.
He went undercover. He was the only black man in the entire room.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it was a crazy, ridiculous concept. I mean, if they had sprinkled the room with other, multicolored people and stuff, so that way he can blend in, no problem. But he was the only black actor in that room. Everybody else was Chinese. How do you go undercover in that way?
It's difficult. Yeah. But I guess they didn't care about the detail. But Obi-Wan Review says, "What's he meant to have done?" I do believe some manner of tax evasion. Yeah. I
Yeah.
also see Even Von Skyver is in here. And he says, Bunny Vision, what happened to Cat Chat? Still on then, huh? All right.
Hmm.
We do have 8 of you in here. Keep in mind that that link that I've dropped up there in the chat, I'll drop it again. This right here allows you to, what are you doing here? Allows you to, oh, wow. I guess it dropped off of there. Anyway, Denelli's going to drop the link. Come over to Rabbit and join us. We got 8 or 7 of you in here now. So, and I only see 3 on the other side. So definitely hit that link and get over here and join us. It is a little bit easier if you're on Chrome. It also helps if you have an account, but you don't always have to. But it's an easy thing to do, guys, and just join us. We're going to watch this movie here momentarily. About 5 minutes, we're going to start. Ah, goodness gracious, Blade though. We're watching the first one today, and that's fine. But for me, my favorite is the second. I love the second movie way, way better than this one. But this one's fun too, I suppose. What
This
about
one,
you?
this one was a proof of concept, and
No, it is. Yeah.
it proved that if you take comic books a little bit seriously and you take it with some heart, it actually comes out good and doesn't become a joke like Batman and Robin.
Yeah. No. And there were a few people who made those attempts, of course, with Blade here, X-Men, and stuff like that, before Iron Man. And it's weird how they never mention Blade. It's kind of like a forgotten thing, right?
Well,
When
Right.
it comes to the
it's not
MCU.
easy marketing. It's not easy marketing. I mean, they say, "Oh, we did Blade, and then we had like almost 10 years of nothing, and then we did, Marvel." It's hard marketing.
Yeah. And Eric Hawkins says, I liked him in Rising Sun. Yeah. Yeah. Dragon says, Rabbit altered its layout to make it dumber. Yeah, they did.
All right.
They made a change some weeks ago, and it wasn't a good one. But
Well,
I mean,
yeah, the link should just take you directly to the room,
yeah.
um, and there shouldn't be any issues. If you're friends with me, just open up your friend list, see my name. It says join room, go to room, click on that, and you should be there.
Well, I think it has a lot to do with if they're on mobile devices. Being
Mm,
on a mobile device, it doesn't really work well with hangouts and YouTubes and stuff. They don't work smoothly.
right.
Which is weird because I think they should we've got to the point that they could not change it completely, but allow access to some of the stronger machines, because I know with my tablet and things like that, I can basically run like a laptop. So they need to understand that there's more powerful
Well,
tech, but I'm
well,
assuming they're trying to
they,
keep the lowest
I'm
common denominator.
yeah. What they could do is just change the when they open their windows, instead of saying mobile version or mobile site, they go with the
Yeah.
desktop version, and it'll work
Yeah, but see,
relatively
that option
simple.
is not always available, dude.
Hmm.
And it would be that's a good point though. Don't think Netflix Australia had Blade. Huh. I wonder why. But Australia and Britain have got really odd rules and law
Hmm.
about what can be allowed and what can't be. I know, for instance, the Ninja Turtles, you couldn't mention the word ninja, and you can't show nunchucks for some reason in Britain, because that's like corrupting of souls or something. So I don't get it.
Don't you know the secret shadow wars of the ninjas behind the UK Parliament House back in 1995, Chester?
Oh, goodness. I think what it proves is Britain has always been out of its mind, whether it's a conservative or liberal. It just can't go in moderation. Britain just has to go way, way past the pale, whatever direction they're heading. Currently, they're in a lefty progressive leaning, and they're just going 100% balls to the walls for it, right? And that's what they seem to do. They can't find a healthy middle, and Australia seems to be the same. Oh well.
Crikey. All right.
Wow.
Well, one more minute and I'll start the film.
Yeah, yeah. We start 10 minutes past.
Yep.
Oh
Oh,
my gosh, I got another backer. Two more
N-
actually.
Nice.
yay. That's a good thing.
It's a wonderful thing.
It is. So how many people we have over here in the room? We got five. Sweet.
Yep.
Sweet. All right. Gonna enjoy this movie here together. Who we got over here? We got George, of course. We got E. Hawkins. Hey, dude. We have Dragon, of
Well,
course.
well, we'll talk a little bit about Tales from Beyond the Gates. We're at 5,615. So thank you
Oh,
for all
nice.
107 backers. We're only halfway through our fixed goals. We only have 16 days left
Hmm.
for that project that John Diller's spearheading. So, share it to your friends, share it to your coworkers, tweet it out. Uh, let's us get to that 10,000 goal. Um, so we can print this book and you can see the awesome work of all these different creators, artists. You know, he's up
How many backers is right now in
uh,
total?
107 backers.
It's awesome.
107. That's a good number.
It
Yeah.
is a good number. Yeah. And we're going to go on some other sites and hopefully get some a couple of bumps. And of course, at the end of the campaign, there's always that big bump, anyhow. So I'm pretty confident we're going to make it, but you need to help us get over the line. That's for sure. But you know, we're going to keep pushing on it and get it done. And because it's a real fun project, and for many of us, it's kind of our first foray into this kind of Indiegogo thing, and that's kind of that's kind of fun. Anyway, it is 10 minutes past, so we're going to start that movie. I believe he's already has. Yes, he
Hmm.
has. And we have Amun Ra Films. Ooh, such a cool name. All right. Just keep in mind, if you guys come in, we have that link right there. And of course, this movie starts out in 1967, 3 years before I was born.
Woohoo!
I'm a 1970 boy.
Hey, you're such an amateur.
I know. I know. I
so
can't.
so
I'm always
so
in.
there so you got to think about it. This movie was what, 1998 when this came out.
Yeah.
So they're saying Wesley Snipes was 31 years old, or Blade was 31 years old when this movie came out. It's kind of funny to think about it.
Wow, I didn't realize it was 1998. This is the year that Joe King made his debut on my comic book series.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And just
Oh,
the
no.
sheer visceral opening of this, really kicked the heads of a lot of people, like what they were
Mm.
expecting for comic books.
Yeah, I think the only real trouble with this movie actually is they should have went with special, practical effects instead of CG. And there's only a few moments that happens. So that's for me, that's the only real problem. Otherwise, I think it's a pretty solid flick. I think the second one is more interesting, but it's a pretty solid movie. If they had just somehow managed to get rid of that CG, and I know that they had real trouble making decisions on how to end this movie, and the one they went with, I mean, it's all right. And you notice Tracy Lord sitting here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't
Kind
know
of
if you guys
funny.
know her, but she's a very famous porn actress who is, I don't know if she's famous for being a porn actress or famous for being a actress who was performing in movies when she was a high school girl, therefore extremely underage. Tracy Lords.
Yes.
Well, she was known for her testy young age choices, but she has redeemed herself in the Lord's way to being such a solid actor. She has starred in quite a few movies and has been really, really good at her craft in terms of acting.
Hmm? Well, I mean, technically she was on the camera since she was a teenager, so I suppose she learned something along the way.
You just
I
have to
do
give
like
her
this
that acting.
little vampire, the little
Yeah.
skinny blonde.
It's kind of funny seeing these actors young. Um,
Yeah, sure.
The one thing about this opening scene, it's like it looks like the entire room is vampires and there's only one human. I mean, that's the impression I get every time
Yeah,
I see this.
that is the
yeah,
impression they're giving.
that's why they're. If you look at the color scheme, everybody's more or less wearing white or black, and the only human is just red, full of blood.
Yes, it's a very not subtle thing.
Yeah,
It's not subtle. It's a cool
but
idea they had here in this opening scene, though.
yeah. Mm.
My son is eating cream cheese bagels and strawberries and milk. My God.
That's beautiful,
Right,
man. That's
right
beautiful.
through Lou. Tracy Lord. She helped me get through junior high.
Oh, this on the other side.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
right
know.
through.
I know who she is, but I never actually saw one of her flicks. But you know, I just thought it was interesting. She was in the movie. It just made a mention. She's only in the beginning shot there.
You
I
know,
don't
that's
recall seeing her anywhere else.
it's enough.
Here we go.
Yeah,
This is funny because this is something that vampires might do. Actually, yeah. The old Tex, he's having a good time over there.
and then you start getting the inkling. What the?
Bloodbath. Yeah, that's gonna mess with the electronic equipment. Just so you know, the electronics ain't gonna like that. And
Imagine.
geez, you think coffee is hard to get out of electronics, man? I can't imagine blood.
No, it's simple. If you watch CSI, it's always bleach. Anything
He's
you
just
do.
kind of like a treat.
This was an R-rated movie in the theaters, wasn't it?
I
Correct.
would assume so. And it was interesting too because they set up a little bit of lore as well, kind of like what John Wick did with setting up the Continental and stuff. All that kind of interesting, just world building. They do that in this movie as well. And I really wish they had gone much deeper later. They really didn't. The third movie should have been all about the world itself instead of some super vampire god again. It was dumb. They made a huge mistake and they killed the series.
Well, that's why Wesley Stripe was so upset about the third film and was suing the production company.
And that's another absolute failed movie that what's his face there, the guy that plays Deadpool, was in.
Ryan Reynolds, yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's had some hits, but he's been in some absolute stinkers too. Now people
Well,
hate on Green Lantern, but I think 75% of that movie, the first 75%, is actually excellent. It's just the ending, the third act is the problem with that movie, really.
Yeah, that is correct. That is absolutely very astute of you.
Yeah,
Um, they put their best story in the beginning of the movie. The first
yeah,
half hour of the movie was the best of the Green Lantern could ever be. After that, it was just boring. It was
yeah.
so.
Oh, there goes. Oh, he didn't kill Tracy though. He just kicked her. Oh, oh, oh,
there
there
she
she
go.
goes. Yay,
Yeah.
bye, Tracy. And you notice he hit her in the crotch, right? I wonder if that was a wink, wink. I bet you it
Uh,
was.
I love this. Let's take him all on one at a time.
Yeah, well, there's not many action heroes that can not do that, dude. Bruce is rare. You understand that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when Bruce Lee took him, in those movies, he took him down at the same time.
No,
He
Bruce is a special case. Now, people like to go on about Bruce being this amazing one-on-one combatant in real life, and I think he did have talent, but we do need to remember Bruce was an actor, right?
Well, actually, the reason why he's so high regard because actual fighters actually went through him and actually kicked all of them. So
Yeah, no, yeah, I know he has some actual cred. I get that. I'm not
yeah.
disrespecting Bruce at all, dude. I love Bruce Lee. I'm just saying that that's not people put way too much legend on Bruce. It's unfair to him, really.
Well, when you see those rare footage of him actually fighting other people and not restrained to the camera, it's kind of amazing to watch.
It is.
Speaking of which, Demolition Man, they actually had to tell Wesley Stripes to slow down because he was moving too fast for the camera.
Oh yeah, no, Wesley, he took this very seriously. It's a
Wow,
lot of
don't.
silver, man.
Wow, isn't this a familiar face? He's currently in Gotham right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And the cops show up.
But of course.
Bought and paid for, I am sure.
Yep, because they came prepared.
Yeah, and now the sad thing is, if you go look in Marvel, what they're doing with Blade, they've actually brought him back recently. Interesting, but they made him this incredibly soft, almost like a servant or butler type of attitude. And it's like, I mean, could you possibly disrespect Blade more than they are currently in the Marvel? I mean, really?
Well,
Oh,
um, I think so. I mean, look at all the other characters they are destroying.
Yeah, no, but I mean, in particular, because the ones who are very masculine, they go after hard, right? Because
Yes.
Blade is ultra masculine, right?
Yeah.
She's a hematologist. Yay. They had to tell us that very clearly. It says hematology.
why couldn't the love interest be say like a bartender or somebody working at a McDonald's, a completely non relational blah 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 to whatever the character is facing. Why do they always have to be so well entwined?
Well, it's the shortcuts, the hand shortcuts. You have so much information you have to detail. And what is a bartender that's going to add to the story besides, fighting?
What's wrong with fighting?
No, I'm just saying. If you need exposition and you don't want the female to fight, then you give her this the intellectual, specialty. That's what I see.
Yeah, they do that kind of thing.
Yeah,
And I don't know. I think she does a fine job. There's
the
nothing
wig
wrong
is
with her
showing.
character.
Oh, look at all that smarty talking
Yes.
thing. Oh boy.
Yeah. It's interesting. She's actually kind of pale, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yep.
I forgot she got bit.
Yep. That's probably why they kept her pale because she wouldn't look different after she got bit.
Yeah. Now I remember clearly the bandage and stuff. He's the freak. That's interesting. I love that, right?
Yeah.
Run, run. He is tough.
Jaguar sound.
Yeah. Now, why doesn't he put her down? Now, of course, the he. It's unfortunate what happened, and they should have done it sooner. That would have been the perfect Black Panther right there.
Oh,
Of
good
course,
God.
yeah. I mean, of course, he did Blade already, so it's kind of, I guess it's out. But that he would have been the perfect Black Panther. He
He
would have
would
pulled it
have
off.
ruled so hard.
Yeah. Now, why didn't he put her down? It's kind of his rule, obviously, right? Okay, yeah, he's carrying a civilian hostage. All right, good job, guys. Oof. Hmm.
You're shooting hostage.
Yeah, but
Oh
I think
wait,
we're supposed to understand, even though they haven't showed it to us yet, this is a little bit of a mistake in this movie, that
they're
you know,
paid, bought and
they
paid.
the cops are owned, right?
Yeah,
Is this Chicago that it takes place in?
Um, I don't know if they specify. Maybe they do. I haven't noticed any landmarks yet. Dragon does say Bruce Lee's fighting in the movies is not actual fighting. Hollywood fighting is slow. The fighters are separated more, and the moves are more exaggerated. Yeah, that's true. That is true.
like a
And
dance.
and once again, don't misunderstand anything I said. I love Bruce Lee. I just people have created this incredible legend that is Bruce Lee, and I just don't think that's really fair to him.
I believe in Bruce Lee as much as I believe in the legend, as much as I believe in Santa Claus. Don't take that away from me.
I won't. I shan't. Keep it. But yeah, Eric's is talking about his tax troubles, and they had him on attached to Black Panther. Yeah, it's weird that they did him with Blade, but then we're also thinking doing Black Panther. I mean, it's the same universe, right? But oh well, I guess we've seen it before with Chris Evans. So, and that is a gorgeous car. Thank you, Mr. Snipes, for showing respect to the car. Thank you.
I see where John Wick got it.
Oh, this is a very different car than the one John Wick's in. But but yeah, no, I mean, it's this generation, our generation, that we have this respect for this kind of car. These days, they're all about the little, rice rockets and stuff.
Yeah, this is a muscle car.
Yeah, that's American muscle right there, man. Respect.
Right, but if you don't have money to pay for the gas, that muscle car is ain't going anywhere,
Well, if you can't afford a thing, you shouldn't own it.
and that's why a lot of people don't buy it.
Hmm.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. Look at who's that? I think his name is Chris Christopherson.
Correct.
Wonderful singer. Wonderful singer.
Hmm. I think it was a good choice. I think it would have been neat if they had gotten Sam Elliott or something, but I think he works really well.
Some of the best actors are performers, like musicians, comedians.
Comedians, yeah, absolutely, yeah. We got 8 people up in here. That's cool. Uh, watching the Blade.
Imagine Gary Busey in this role.
I would have been interesting too. I mean, Gary's a crazy dude, but he can act, man.
Yeah,
Putting garlic into your veins. That's not a good thing.
and then you see it burning out the vampiric virus.
To a point, yeah. This is another dude who's not a big fella, but he plays big well. Wesley has a presence for sure.
It's wonderful how the camera trickery will take a 5'4" gentleman and make him look like he's 5'8", 6 feet.
Yeah, I don't know how small Wesley is, but he's not a big guy. But I kind of put him in that mid range, I think.
Well, let's look at Robert Downey Jr. I mean,
Yeah,
Gwyneth Paltrow literally looks down on him if they stand without any shoes on.
that's true.
And- But in the movies, you see them looking literally eye to eye when they're embracing.
Mhm. It's just a Hollywood thing. It's a trend that's going on. I think originally it was because of the camera framing they had way back. These days, I would think it wouldn't matter. Actually, you'd think they'd be able to get around it with the tech we have today. But I guess it's just tradition. I'm not really
Well,
sure.
now it's because of the framing. They still have to do it. There's so many things that they can change. Framing can't be changed. It's one of those fundamentals.
I guess. This is interesting. A little bit of the world building they're doing here with the fact that in this thinking there are actual vampires who are created and vampires who are born. So this is a virus more than they are undead, right? Hmm. I like this dude. Of course, do you know where else we saw him recently, where he became kind of famous? Anybody? Anybody?
Oh, explorers.
No, dude. The human centipede.
What?
He's the he's the
Oh,
doctor.
I didn't
Oh,
watch
dog.
that.
Oh no, I was talking about not the doctor.
Frost? Now we don't need that guy. This guy's. Nah, I don't need him in anything at all. He's the weak point of this movie. Actually, I'm talking about that dude.
Human centipede. Oh, good gosh. Just the concept.
I didn't watch Centipedes because it looked stupid, and I heard it was stupid.
That is stupid, but it's interesting stupid, and it's nowhere near as grotesque as it's more the imagery that's grotesque. Now the ones after it just went for pure shock value, but the first one is more about the imagination taking over more than the actual what's presented. Oh, that's a threat. So kill him, just kill him. What are you doing? Just kill him. But they also go into this movie and they start talking about their houses and their, the humans who they use and they brand with tattoos and all kind of stuff. This world building is interesting. I just really wish they had gone deeper with the subsequent movies. See, he's constantly using silver, but I wonder what he is. It looks like he pays with gold. What? Oh, watches. I get it. Mm. I do miss that a little bit. I grew up with around a lot of black people, and they do kind of the hand clasp and then the pull in and the pat on the back or the fist on the back type of thing. That's actually kind of a cool way to greet each other. But oh well, I don't. I'm nowhere near that. If I did their Japanese, it would terrify them. They'd think the end of the world was coming. You touched me. You guys ever had any black friends?
I am married to a beautiful Nubian princess.
Oh, there you go. But I do enjoy the way they greet, and actually, there's a lot of things about culture I actually love. They have some very interesting things. that they do, fun, food. They definitely know how to cut loose and have fun, and greetings and camaraderie and things like that. I mean, in the right place. I mean, I know there's like a toxic section of their culture in America right now, but I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about normal people. You know.
Hmm.
I'm going to mute my mic for 1 minute.
All right. I don't know though. You think she's pretty?
I guess beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
Hmm. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, give him a hard time, Whistler. They did a good job of making her pale, though.
Hmm.
Let's see here. Who's this? Eric says attractive, not really pretty. I think her eyes are a little plain. Yeah, I don't find her very pretty, but I think I just, in general, don't find black ladies pretty most of the time. I think is what it is for me. Oh
Just
well,
not your type. Not
it's
just your.
just not my type, I guess. Yeah,
Yep.
I've seen some mulatto girls that are really pretty. She's kind of little. She's got a little mulatto in her, I think. But I've seen some gorgeous mulatto girls for sure. I think it's the bone structure, maybe for me. This is a cool scene, actually. Now, if you look at Wesley Snipe, his racial type coming out of Africa, which I don't know exactly which it is, but there's another lady who has it's the same race as him. That's called what was her name? Oh, she was in Conan the Barbarian, the second one, Conan the Destroyer. Something Grace, big tall black model lady.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, what is her name? Now that lady is the same race as him. Like I
Iman?
said, I don't know which type it is, but there's something hauntingly attractive about her.
Yeah, are you talking about Iman?
No, no, no. This is
No.
way back. Grace is something.
Grace Jones.
Yeah.
Grace Jones. Yeah, yeah. There's some real haunting beauty right there. And once again, from what I like, it would Jesus God Whistler. You would think I wouldn't actually find her attractive, but there's something super attractive
You had
about her. I don't know what it is.
you had a strong female presence without the
Yes,
feminist attitude. She
that's
was
true.
she
Yeah.
had a strong will, beautiful looks. She knew how to carry herself. She starred in a whole bunch of movies with Arnold Schwarzenegger, with James Bond, Roger Moore, View to a
Oh yeah,
Kill.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, she was sexy too. Grace Jones, yeah, absolutely. I wonder what I have to check that. I haven't really paid much attention to which haplotype that would be, but this is one certainly a one of the African races. Those sharp, dark features. You have the Nubian types, which are kind of the more the classical caricature.
And
You
chiseled
got,
jaw,
huh?
a chiseled jaw as well.
Yeah, oh, yeah, no, he's this group here. Then you have, of course, like the Zulu types, which are basically East Africans, and they're short, but they have those round faces. Then you have the West Africans, which are really tall. Different. There's so many different groups actually. I don't know how many there are. There are a lot. I have to go take some time to research it because this group that he's part of, they can be very attractive actually. But it is kind of funny these days how they lump everything into one group, and it's like Africa has how many racial groups? There's a lot, right?
Right.
It's just like saying white, as if we're all the same. Yeah, yeah. Get out. Vampire mace. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. It's interesting too. I don't think she's wearing any makeup. I like that. We see a lot of times in movies. My wife always brings that out. Something she notices that why is this person that's supposed to be in this post-apocalyptic or what have you situation wearing makeup, right? And the hair and such.
Oh, that's interesting that you say that.
Yeah.
S- s- A, a key thing is in The Walking Dead.
Hmm.
There were what's it like 5 6 years now, and the storyline started, and there's no technology, right?
Mm.
But in the last was it last year they were featuring the latest Ford truck or whatever that came out, and people were saying, "Wait a minute, the entire planet in the story is like there's no technology, there's no industry, and how you advertising the latest Ford truck in something that should have been non-existent for 5 years in the storyline."
Well, product placement.
Yep.
There are plenty of movies where you really need to shut your brain off. I like this little world building touch as well. He's translating ancient stuff. Oh, oh, he's getting serious. It's cool
Yep.
he's in this movie. We can, he's actually a good actor.
Why you do this to me, Jimmy?
Yeah, right.
Why?
You bore me. I don't know why he just didn't kill him outright. As I'd kill him outright. But then again, I would be a tyrant. Ray says, then you have the Khoisan, which are more closely related genetically to the Aussie Aboriginals than any other African ethnicity, believed to be the oldest ethnic group to still exist. Yeah, yep. The Bushmen of the Kalahari. Oh, cool. Yeah, no, there are many, many groups, dude. And I just wish I could remember which group he's in. I know when I was younger, I kind of thought Wesley, in my childish brain, I put him as Nubian, and then of course I ended up studying that because of my Egypt stuff in college, and of course he's not Nubian at all. They do like to talk about the Nubians, though. I don't know why. I think it's because the Nubians are. And by the way, those bite marks are way too far apart. But nevertheless, the Nubians are actually in Egypt. They were the military, right? And but they're
Mhm.
they're they're very different. They're the ones with those extended brows and very accentuated lips, type of look. They're not that his type. But I guess we're not here to talk about anthropology.
Oh, now
Yeah.
they're
Now here's a little more
recommending
world building, right?
using markers.
Yeah. It means they belong to a certain house of vampires. They work for them and stuff. It's cool. I mean, it's very similar to what they did with John Wick, right? With the continental building of that world. And I just really wish they had delved deeper and deeper into it, and they just didn't. And they abandoned it. Yeah, those bite marks are way too far apart. Hmm. Now she's going back to her house. They cut her loose, but and she's got her vampire mace ready. But of course, they're not. Well, we'll see. Ooh. I think in the third movie they brought in Whistler's daughter, didn't they?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Mm.
But I
It,
didn't watch the third movie because it looked like crap.
It was
oh,
really bad. It
yeah.
was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She battled her opponents while blasting music in their ears. How does she hear them coming at her?
Yeah,
Honestly.
no, it's not a smart thing to do. Yeah. I understand they're just trying to create some cool aspect of the character though. I mean, I get it. But it's yeah. That movie was failure. Mm, very young cop. Yeah, why did you bother with any of that? Just come in and shoot her. These people don't
Exposition.
know how to villain well. Nobody. Familia, that's right. That's what they called him. And Blade just used her as bait, and he's breaking up her shit too.
Have you
Yes.
noticed Wesley's chiseled positions every time he gets into a fighting mood?
Well, he
It's
poses. Yeah, he
yeah.
does. Deacon Frost. I like the word they use the word glyph. That's kind of cool. He doesn't care that he's beating a cop in public. By the way, it's a cool gun they put on him too. Ooh, it's true. It's true. Useless.
I know, blah, 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 blah.
Wearing all black leather or pleather,
Hmm.
looks cool and all that stuff. But do you really want to not blend in, kind of thing? Are you so
Obviously
busy?
not. He just beating a cop in public. He could care less. And he doesn't even leave. He just stays there.
There he is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's those little moments when Wesley smiles in these character moments that you go like, oh yeah, that's cool.
It is cool. I like the this little sped up version they did here in the middle. It's an interesting touch. You wouldn't expect to see it in the movie, but it somehow works though in the movie. Yeah. Who made this movie, by the way, Denali? Who's the director?
The director. Let me see if I can.
It's a nice little bit of world building they do here as well with the little glyphs and stuff.
Stephen Norrington, and written
Okay.
by David S. Goyer.
The lighting in that alleyway is absolutely spectacular.
It is. Yeah. Dragon says he shouldn't treat familiars like that. I'd be a familiar if I had the option. I need to bloodlet for health reasons. So it's kind of the point he's trying to make, I guess. Chotomate, that was very bad Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he took off his glasses. I guess he doesn't like hitting people with his glasses on.
Yeah, but there's really bad Japanese though, and that doesn't at all look like what Japanese bars look like. Not even a little bit. That's really a Western image, I think, of what they look like.
So you're saying
Maybe
that Charles Bronson movie, for what it was, Kijike or something like that, the Forbidden Subject, was inaccurate?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And most of those people in there are Chinese, by the way. Yeah, I mean, I lived over here long enough. I can tell the difference between the groups, right? That's definitely a Chinese dude. He was being honest. Oh, something happened. Denali, you still here, dude?
Yep.
Oh, good. It's back now. This is a cool little scene coming up here.
Pearl.
Yeah, Pearl. It's an interesting concept because these vampires are not undead, right? They're not the undead. It's simply a virus. So gluttony and other things like that can be applied because usually you don't see your vampires are usually thin or perfect shape, right? This approach is very different.
Wow, I just saw an interesting statement I would like to throw by you guys.
Hmm.
Does Adam Schiff truly believe he knows more than Mueller, more than 40 FBI agents, more than 2,800 subpoenas, more than 13 countries investigation. Does he truly
Yeah,
think
dude.
he knows more than all these guys?
This has nothing to do with knowing. It's all about politics. They have lost their mind as far as they're concerned. Trump is guilty of everything. It doesn't matter if you have proof or not. They don't care. It's like that crazy lady on the CNN that's literally crying because he was found not guilty or not approachable. I mean, Rachel Maddow, I think her name is. I mean, they're just this what they are, dude.
Yeah. Notice how they're cutting the woman's head off so you don't see her as she's walking.
Spoilers, George. He's a scrawny thing, isn't he? Yeah, there are some plot holes in this movie. I get it, but the concept is cool, and it's really wish they had just really dug into the world that they were trying to make. It's like we saw John Wick, right? They introduced the world. Then the second one, they introduced it more. We went deeper, right? They didn't do that here. They should have.
I wonder. I think they took Blade as a template and then realized what they did right and what they did wrong because
I don't know.
they feel the same.
They feel very similar. They do.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, they kind of screwed this up because it's one of the huge plot holes for me is, I mean, that council would have murdered him straight out. And if
Yeah.
they can't murder him straight out, which obviously it seems they can, then they need to explain why, right? That's a huge plot hole because Deacon should be dead. Ooh,
Oh, come on. Come on. There you go.
this scrawny punk chick is kind of cool. Ooh, it's a bat. Hmm.
Uh,
Well, guys, I need to leave a little bit early
yeah.
today, but I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of these two here, and you guys keep up the thing.
Capable.
Enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
Oh well, I know capable. And Pearl is coming up. Oh, hello,
Yeah.
Pearl. Look at that. Ew.
Uh,
That's all practical.
Ooh. Look at Skype way back then, even, huh? That's 21 years ago. Uh-oh. Anyway, I gotta go, guys.
all right.
But I'll leave you with these guys and just keep,
Yeah.
talking. I'm gonna leave it up here, running as normal, and I'll shut it down remotely later. Okay.
All right.
Yep.
All right, guys. Talk to you later.
Man,
Bye.
that fat suit must be claustrophobic for him because we
It
don't know
must have
how
been.
long. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Interesting thing is the computer graphics that they use to show the location of certain things so they can set you up is very
Yeah.
minimal, which is very nice. I as that little goo he was spraying.
Yeah.
I didn't honestly. I didn't know what was that goo supposed to be.
It wasn't like whipped cream, like shaving cream. But I think that was supposed to be like plastine or something,
Yeah.
portable plastine. But when they're doing physical props like that, they probably just put like color whipped cream or shaving cream. No, shaving cream looks better, has a better consistency.
And now we get the Black Sea Scrolls of the Vampires.
Yeah. Spooky little kid running around. But we saw this kid earlier.
How much? Where would they be able to hide? I mean, there's not much place there to hide anything.
Well, oh man, have we improved in sound effects? And now we see.
All this talking, they could have
Yeah.
just, capped his butt. Few things I like about Austin Powers is the kid.
Seth
Yeah,
Green
yeah,
telling you, just shoot him.
yeah,
Stop
yeah.
talking. Just shoot him
Right now,
now.
here, I got a gun right now. Let's do it.
Listen, son, there's a way we do it. and slow and torturous is how we do it.
Oh, that's great. How fast do you think that train's going? Because a train going that fast, it doesn't take that long to pass you.
Yeah.
That must be some long train.
No, it's compression of time where they're going super fast that it seems like everything's going slow.
I recall, was it one of the Fast and Furious movies where they're doing a whole speed chase to catch a plane?
Yeah,
And I'm looking at it going like, okay, this whole thing should have lasted maybe 15, 20 seconds, and it's like a minute long.
yeah.
How long is that runway?
Ticket.
Ticket, please.
Here's a continuing error. No hole where the steak was put in.
That darn costume director. They have a continuity girl or continuity boy who supposed to keep track of all that.
Yeah. Now it's there. Now it's gone.
The worst continuity I remember seeing is in James Cameron movie True Lies in
Yeah.
the Harrier jet
Oh yeah.
when there was bullets flying, close up, and the entire side of the plane was riddled with bullets. But then when you did a quick cut and then came back and the Harrier jet was pulling away, there was no bullets on the side of the plane at all.
That's funny.
And to think, James Cameron, the king
Uh,
of detail.
Detail. Yeah.
So much exposition. It's funny. They
Hmm.
would fast forward, a few of the scenes in the movie so they can
Yeah,
get you to the next scene and get you going
yeah.
in the action. But they don't do this here.
Remember, we're going light speed now compared to 20 to even 30
Where
years
is
ago.
that slacker Chester at?
He had to step down. He said, "I gotta go, guys." So it's on to you, Thundaro, to carry the load.
Why can't I hear?
I'm just a grumpy guy. Not long enough. Yeah.
Did you ever notice all the bad guys? Every time they show the bad guys in their
Hmm.
hangout and all that stuff, it's always a party. It's always a party. There's never a moment where they're sitting back, cooking breakfast or preparing a dinner meal and so on like that. It's always a party.
You don't wanna humanize them because if we see them doing those stuff, then they're like, oh, they're doing bad stuff, but they also live like us.
All right, let me try this again. Where's Chester?
Chester had to leave early for other errands. He told us that you had to carry the
Oh, I
second
have to
hour.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're trying to come up with random smart things to say.
Well, that's where you're failing right there.
Which part?
So, how are you guys been?
We've been doing good. It's been an interesting week, to say the least.
Yes. Yes. This is why bad guys always fail. They always make it a ceremony to kill somebody.
Hmm.
Always. They have to make it a ceremony. They just can't cap that, buggers behind, just like Seth Green on Austin Powers.
Right.
See, here's the plot point. How did he get a top elder to be in his company? Where's his bodyguards? Where's his security? Shouldn't there be like, hey, you know, maybe we should be protecting our big boss from this?
Nah, that would require logic in the story. Bad guys don't have logic.
Yeah.
Oh, and he just ripping his teeth out with a pair of pliers.
Yep.
Well, that's one way to handle it.
Yep. And here's the second plot point. So you kill one of us, and we're gonna listen to you. Why? It should be like, we're gonna kill you now.
Yeah, why wouldn't they have just killed him right then?
Yeah.
You know what I find really unusual? It's like, oh, we have a problem, we have to solve it. Look at this clue that we have. Okay, let's look it up in this particular library or this particular book. It's like, are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
And they did that especially with Buffy, the entire series. Oh, there's a vampire who's got the hiccups, and he's also mummified. Oh, okay, let's look up in this book here. Oh, okay, this is what we should do to solve the problem. It's like, how many times has this, which leads me to the thinking is, how many times have they had this problem before that it's actually written in a book many thousands of years ago or hundreds of years ago, and the problem still persists?
Right.
It's like you have a book, you have World War III. Oh, let's look at why we shouldn't have World War III or how we can solve a world war. Okay, let's look at the history books. Oh, there's World War II. There's World War One. Okay.
And they don't think that much. The logic, they think, oh, we got better things to do. The next generation will handle it. We'll just put the information here just to let them know, hey, we had to do it, but at the end of the day, we did have the balls to actually finish the job, so we're just leaving it for the next generation to handle it.
Yeah, instead of paying it forward, we're kind of pushing it forward.
Yeah.
I do have to say that Wesley Snipes was probably the perfect choice for this movie. It's great casting.
He's solid.
Something wrong with that blood if it's bubbling that light.
Oh, that's Wesley Snipes' acting skills. He says, "Yeah, stick me. Forget the special effects."
Well, that's because you pretty much are.
Yep. Let's ignore the black man in the black leather suit.
Yeah, and the guns dangling from his trench coat. One thing about this meeting is I really like how the bad guy uses the little innocent girl. It's very, very hard and simple.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I got sunblock 10,000.
which is gonna make me wonder how they're gonna do with the Morbius movie.
Probably poorly.
I know, but one has to hope.
If they have a Blade cameo in that movie, or they mention the Blade character in that movie, it would be, you know, that much all more awesome.
I'm surprised they haven't tried to reboot Blade.
Well, I read that the rumor is that now Disney or Marvel Cinematic Universe overlords are reviewing all the X-Men actors and who they're going to cherry pick to continue into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I would pick none of them. I would just start over if I was them. The only one, in all honesty, that has any gravitas that would matter would be Hugh Jackman, and I don't think they're going to do him. So
Well, if you really think about it, the last 10 plus years of X-Men movie has just been one long Wolverine story.
mhm.
If some creative guru out there would digitize all the movies and string them along into a linear story, it would be Wolverine and the X-Men.
That's pretty much what it was. It should have been Wolverine and X-Men, Wolverine and X-Men 2, Wolverine's Last Stand.
Oh,
And the little girl just walks away from this. Really, she's capable of actually standing up after she smashes through a food cart and hits the pavement.
right. Yeah, it's go home.
Oh, now she's able to walk. Yeah,
It's like I'm too afraid to feel the pain, the broken bones,
she
the
is.
concussion.
Yeah.
The broken neck, all that stuff.
Yeah. Maybe you should have your warehouse a little bit more secure. Wait a minute. I think they're using the same warehouse from RoboCop.
And Doctor Who.
Could very well be. Oh, stomped a mud hole in him.
I'm just going to mute my microphone for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I think the main problem is if they tried to make Blade now, they'd make him woke. And I don't think anybody wants to see woke Blade.
Nope.
We want to see Blade killing vampires. That's really all I want to see him do, is kill vampires. Blade comes up and finds him. Oof. And they definitely wouldn't have the courage to make it this vulgar.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to need that.
All this science.
This part has a very Western vibe to it for some reason.
Lone gunslinger,
Yeah.
mentor killed.
He's getting ready, getting equipped to go fight.
The
Oh, he's
definition of a true hero. When the going gets tough and all things seem lost and you have no chance of winning, you still saddle up.
All he's missing is his white hat.
And a cool horse.
Hmm.
A vampire horse.
He should have a horse named Silver. Oh,
A vampire horse named Silver. That'd be awesome.
that girl on the couch reminds me of the girl
Hmm.
in 2 Days in the Valley, or in the Tron sequel.
Hmm.
You always have these very good-looking girls in white, just relaxing back on a couch.
I've always hated that line. He calls him the blood god and then says he's an act of God. It annoys me.
By making it explode.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. Here we go. It's getting interesting.
It's about to go Matrix before the Matrix.
Hmm.
We have a warrant. We just like to talk.
You know what's funny? It's probably the same guys in the Matrix as well.
Yeah.
That-
Are you talking about the stunt actors?
yeah.
Their body armor is useless.
Interesting thing is, just one bullet against that body armor is enough to push back or knock out the police officer because of the high impact.
Mm-hmm.
So while they're not actually being killed in the movie, if they did the story right, all you had to do is just shoot one bullet in each of their directions and save himself on all the ammo for the big bad guy. But then again, this is not John Wick. Bullets do matter. Cartridges and the amount of bullets in a cartridge does matter.
Oh, right in the eye.
Just a flesh wound.
A little more in the flesh wound. They're about to go total recall right here.
Yes,
Total
I was
recall.
just about to say that.
Oh, that's just nasty.
Where did the other one come from? Oh yeah, there was two of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One in the eye. Oh, the old hero going up the tower gimmick.
Into the White Room. I suppose you want to know why you were here. I brought you here. Have a seat. Let me tell you about your past.
Oh, everybody remember where we saw this scene last? Coffin opening.
Now, also remember, we almost got a black Neo. Will Smith turned down the role to play in the Wild Wild West movie.
Yeah, what a genius move.
It was,
Hey,
thankfully, because he would have ruined the crap out of that movie.
yeah.
You know how Wild Wild West got made, eh? They were trying to make a Superman movie, and the producer wanted a giant spider at the end to fight Superman, and everybody called, bullshit on it. So he ended up producing Wild Wild West, and he wanted a giant spider. He wanted his giant spider.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw how that turned out.
Oh,
Ruined two fine actors' careers.
yeah, the giant spider was fantastic. It was the high point of the movie. Everything else I can do without. In fact, they can start the movie just when the spider makes its appearance, and we can call it the life and death of a giant mechanical spider. So he's got all these weapons in his hands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look at it. He's got those things around his arm. He's got those things around his belt. He's got a sword, for crying out loud. He was able to take on an entire regimen of vampires or humans all at the same time. And he can't handle, what is it, 6 guys?
Well, they got the jump on him.
Ah, that's too bad. William Shatner's having a hard time booking venues for a Wrath of Khan screening of all places, the UK. Wonder why.
It's the UK. And he did talk about against the SJWs. Called him out.
Even Captain Kirk is not immune to the evilness of inconsistent thinking. Before they used this location for these bad guys used this location for a ritual. What do you think this location was actually used for? Huh? Was it used for a gallery? Maybe. Storing potatoes? I don't know, possibly. All these clever locations. Again, he takes bullets, he takes everything, but a simple punch to the face, really?
A hit in the chin. That's a weak spot.
Oh yes, I remember this now. It doesn't go well for the guy who's holding his blade.
No thanks.
Oh no.
Oh, he happened to throw exactly where he's going to be in the future. Man, these elder vampires are so weak. How do they retain authority?
I don't know. They're pretty pathetic, in all
I,
honesty.
exactly.
They don't really do anything.
It's a pose, I suppose.
Mm, I'll be right back.
I like how they constantly keep changing the location. You know, location for this, location for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they can't just get everything done in one room. It's like, okay, so we capture the bad guy and we are making our world building plans and conquering this and that. Okay, wait, let's go to the other room.
Oh. That's one sharp knife.
Yeah, smidgen. So much dialogue. Good gosh.
I thought this was supposed to be an action film.
Yeah, it seems that when the director yelled action, everybody started to talk instead of do.
We gotta emote. Feel our pain.
All I know is one of the coolest action scenes in especially superhero movie, but really of this time frame movies is about to happen. First, the bad guy has to almost win.
Yes, it is a challenge.
It is rather annoying how absolutely pathetic these supposedly super badass vampires are. They're supposed to be the elders, the top dogs, and they're just nothing.
Yes, the numero uno, the big boys.
Yeah. Good job, Mercury, killing one of the batteries for your boss's plan.
Yeah, wouldn't that like invalidate the whole deal?
A smidgen.
Maybe that's why he got iced. Iced, baby.
Do. Okay, I have to mute my mic one more time. I'll be right back.
That's some good aim on that lightning. Now, is this supposed to be their souls? I don't understand what this is. They're vampire souls.
But aren't they missing like an elder? I'm pretty sure they are.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Wouldn't that have messed up their whole ritual? Isn't that just a bone? How did that kill him? Kill her? Oh, superhero landing.
Yep.
Is that the first knee landing in Marvel movies?
Yep.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah.
History in the making.
Here we go. Here it comes. This song, this whole scene is awesome.
Hmm.
One of the best in any movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm going to take them all on one at a time.
They gotta do this scene because the way the next scene ends is kind of pathetic.
Just punches him over. Oh, rips out his throat and throws his throat at another guy's face.
Into his mouth.
That's amazing.
You know, Wesley Snipes, I believe, is the only action actor who does an action scene from pose to pose.
Mm-hmm.
There is no good angle on this guy. I mean, no bad angle on him. He's got the poses, all of them. You freeze the frame and you go, okay, this is a cover for a comic book. This is another cover for a comic book.
Oh. One thing that does bug me is how did that bone kill his mom, and then how was breaking the neck kill a vampire? Oh. Classic karate movie move. That doesn't make any sense at all. The double spinning back kicks.
Pose.
Ah, yes, the anime run.
They
Even
needed somebody else for Deacon because I just can't believe he would stand up to Blade.
Yeah, but that's a pretty good sword fight.
Hmm.
Well, that's just cheating. I have to say, this is some of the fastest blade work outside of Revenge of the Sith's fight with Obi-Wan and Anakin at the end.
Hmm.
That is impressive how fast he is with that blade. And it doesn't look like it's sped up. It looks like he's actually using it that quickly. Pose. Oh. Oh. Spinning front jump round kick right to the head.
Mhm.
Curse splash.
See, I don't think the ritual worked that as he intended, because if it did, he probably wouldn't have to suffer through that. He's made of blood and would just regenerate.
Well,
Yeah.
they killed one of them, so I don't even
Yeah.
know how it even kind of worked. To be honest, I think that's
Right.
Maybe that's the secret subtext that we're all supposed to pick up. Is it didn't really work because
He
they didn't
killed.
have all the guys.
Oh, yeah. And he didn't stay in the coffin like he should have.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't work. It was a failed ritual.
Has it been 6 hours already? Gosh darn it. What a classic vampire movie ending. We just made it to sunrise.
We're gonna get 2 more movies out of this if we'll be damned.
Later in Moscow.
So what do you guys think? This one or 2? Which one's better?
I think two is much.
Yeah.
I think 2 is just a better movie all the way around, in all honesty. But this one does
Yeah.
have some really cool moments like that. That last 10 minutes there is awesome. Just pure action all the way to the end.
Welcome to the credits.
I gotta admit, Blade looks pretty awesome in the snow. You could do a whole vampire hunting movie in the snow.
Yeah. Clap, 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 clap.
Good job. Good job, Wesley. Alrighty, gentlemen.
Yep.
That is and was Blade. In my opinion, the movie that started the superhero craze. There was a couple before it, but it really took off after the Blade series. Took off running. And then
Absolutely.
after that, you had the Spider-Man and X-Men. Well, the X-Men movie and then the Spider-Man movie. And it's not stopped since then.
Yep.
Doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon. What are we watching next week? Do we know? Do we have a plan?
We don't have a plan, so we have to choose for next week's movie.
Uh-oh.
How about On Golden Pond? That will really give Chester a heart attack. But it's an action movie of a retired superhero hanging out with his daughter in a cabin in the woods near a pond. It's beautiful.
Pawn
Man.
it up. It's pawned up.
Let's see. What could we watch? Well, Blade was on my list. We watched that. Check that off the list.
Yeah.
We watched John Wick. What sounds good, gentlemen?
What's coming out in the movie theaters next week?
That is a
Shazam.
very good question. Shazam is actually, well, the real Captain Marvel is.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't know what we could watch with that theme. We could watch Aquaman.
We can watch the movie serials of Captain Marvel.
The real old ones.
Yeah.
People forget that Captain Marvel was at one time the most popular of them all.
Oh yeah, he beat out Superman easily,
Mhm.
and DC Comics didn't like it.
No, they weren't fans. Weren't fans of that at all. So they were assimilated. You know what? I think what we should do is just make it a surprise. Because we need to get Chester's input, what he wants to watch.
Yeah.
He's not here at the moment.
Which I wonder, we gotta message him and say, hey, it's done. So we're not live.
Right.
So
is he okay? Did something come up? What happened?
I think Godzilla was attacking Japan again.
Minor earthquakes, errands he had to run. Stuff like that.
Fun times.
It's all good. Well, I guess the other thing is, tomorrow's going to be Tinfoil Hat at 8 p.m. Eastern, where we're going to be talking about Antarctica. So,
dun, dun, dun.
The Lost City continent, whatever. It's
gonna
probably
get real frosty in here, boys and girls.
You're going to be the deacon.
Stay tuned.
Unless there's anybody around in the chat that has an idea that tickles our fancy, I think what we'll do is we'll wait for our fearless leader to come back, and then we'll make a decision and promote it through the week.
Well, the other one would be The Princess Bride, just to watch Andre the Giant.
I mean, I can always watch Andre the Giant. That's never a bad time when you're watching Andre.
That guy was class all around.
Oh, yes. True legend.
I think he did like 21 beers, and then he fell asleep on the floor, and that was it.
Well, and then his beers would be like pitchers of beer. Like that's how he would drink beer. What would be a normal glass for a normal man, he would drink a pitcher of. He was a true giant, true legend.
Okay, so final thoughts on Blade.
I mean, as a proof of concept, I think it was an awesome film like that. Some of the CGI wasn't needed. It was too early for that. They should have stuck with practical. But like any exciting kid with a new toy, they had to put CGI in.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of plot holes in the movie that we kind of pointed out. That it was like, what? Kind of diminished the vampire threat a little bit when the top dogs were, corralled like cattle by a lesser vampire, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
So, on the other hand, we get to see Whistler for the next movie.
It's true.
Because we never see how he actually shot himself. We only heard bam.
Chris Christopherson.
Chris Christopher.
Yeah, absolute legend that he is. All right, well, I see Chester on another account, it looks like, in the chat saying he will shut it down when we are finished.
We are finished.
We are finished, Mr. Chester. You can shut it down whenever you'd like.
Yep.
All right. Later, gentlemen. I'll see you tomorrow for Tinfoil Hat. Same fan speak time, same fan channel.
Absolutely. Later, everyone.
Do 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 do. Waiting for the life to shut down.
Oh, do we have a Chester back?
Maybe
Something happened.
we're still alive, so
I know.
they're probably wondering why have they ended?
That's hilarious.
This is the song that never ends.
It's gonna be the longest episode we've ever done. We're gonna go until 3, 4 in the morning at this rate.